So hi guys, if you are from the Caribbean, you can afford missing watching this video because the Prime Minister of Barbados, Montly, has come out and she has exposed all the corrupt leaders from Jamaica and also from the Caribbean. So guys, I've been your host Nelson Reaction. Watch the videos till the end. I'll be back. We'll be discussing and we'll see what happens. So guys, stay tuned, watch till the end. I'll be back with some comment.
The time, who sees us and who hears us? We continue to be confronted by problems of blacklisting, which pale into insignificance when compared to climate change, but which destroy our financial sector. The illicit flow of weapons, such that the ease with which people can go into public spaces and shoot and kill others is now regarded as just another item on the news because we promote profit in the manufacture and trade of guns and weapons, of non-communicable diseases that strike down our people in the most insidious of ways because we allow diets that promote the prosperity of a few multinational corporations to become the norm of the day with the food that we eat and the lives that we live. And in the case within our own community, Belize and Guyana continue to face challenges to their territorial integrity. I suppose people feel that because we have talked so long about Belize and Guyana and Cuba, that we can continue to talk about climate change and these other things, and that it is okay for it to be another tick on a UN General Assembly speech. These are all threats to our stability, to the people's stability in our lands. But you know, since last we met, there are other instances and circumstances, not of our making, that may yet destabilize us. And we say it over and over, but we ask who is listening. And you know, we don't come with tales of woe only. The Caribbean has produced excellence. It really has. Nobel laureates, sportsmen who have excelled and are the best in the world of their type, artists, the best in the world of their type, leaders who have inspired previous generations and current generations. We don't come here as a proud people asking for handouts. We don't want and will not be mendicant. What we want, no, what we need is fiscal and policy space. Fiscal and policy space to achieve sustainable development, to be nimble, to adapt, and to innovate in ways that allow us to be true and faithful to the task of bringing prosperity to our people, or as in the theme of this General Assembly, to eradicate poverty, to educate our people, to include all such that there's not some outside and some inside. We want an international order equally that recognizes that there must be different policy prescriptions to suit the circumstances that we all have. And we can still be friends, small and large, north and south, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, all different races, all genders. An equitable and just international order that is truly built on the principles of justice and fairness for all and not just for some. A United Nations that recognizes that as 74 years old we must be able to have difficult conversations as mature people and solve them. Many in the developing world were persuaded or required to abandon policies that were designed for the majority of our population to be transformed. And those policies were fashioned to adopt a consensus that was settled in Washington, D.C. and named thereafter. And that ultimately, regrettably, was about the consolidation of wealth in the hands of a very few. That's why we have seen the growing inequality that we have seen in the world over the last few decades. That is why too many people over the world have become cynical about governments and about the benefits that they can bring to them. The fueling of the greed of a few threatens to undermine what little gains we have made since independence. And we judge ourselves harshly because independence is a recent phenomenon for us. Others who have taken 150 years to get where they have gotten are still stumbling and falling. And you want to judge those who have had less than 50 or 60 years to operate in a world that has not been made in their image and that does not reflect their interests. This is the fate, my friends, of simply too many. And Mr. President, despite our small size, the 14 countries of the Caribbean community have been able to play leadership roles of international import. I can't stand here today without talking about St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that has become the smallest nation of the world ever to be elected to the Security Council to sit on it. We are proud of them. In addition, and I want to speak to this, because when CARICOM was confronted with the unfolding situation in Venezuela, I accompanied the then chairman of CARICOM, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, to meet in this building with the UN Secretary General in January of this year. And we met with many delegations, and some said we were wasting our time, and some said the time for talk was already over. And we said then, as we say almost 9 months later, the time for dialogue, the time for talk, my friends, can never be over in a world that wants peace and prosperity. We don't take sides, but what we know is that you cannot propel war over dialogue. The people of Venezuela must be allowed to decide their own future in accordance with the principles of the United Nations Charter. Principles of non-intervention, non-interference, prohibition of the threat or use of force, respect for the rule of law, human rights, and democracy. It is regrettable that other multilateral organizations have not followed their own charters. And that is what makes the actions of our Secretary General of the UN more laudable, for refusing to breach his own charter and take actions even though member states have hurled into the recognition of those unelected. Our Caribbean Sea must remain a zone of peace, and for that we shall fight. Mr. President, I speak plainly and without fear, because from independence, Barbados' foreign policy has been premised on the simple principle of friends of all, satellites of none. Barbados, therefore, has always remained and will remain proud.
So welcome back, my guys. I hope that you have watched the powerful message from Mia Montly. So what I really like about Mia Montly is that she's very straightforward. Like she's not afraid, like she's addressing people and telling them to do what's right. And she's very good because she always fights for the rights of the Jamaican people. She always fights for the rights of black people, but not only fighting for the rights of the Jamaican people, she has also stood up with Africans. She has really supported Africans. She has also fight the right of the black people in the American, in Europe, in the diaspora. So I think that is a good example and a good leader. So guys, Mia Montly has come out and she has questioned, and she's telling the people that who are being elected to do what they are supposed to do, like to do the job that they are being supposed to do. So before guys I forget, I've come across a certain comment during Mia Montly addressing, and people from Jamaica were complaining about their prime minister. They're saying like their prime minister has allowed the Chinese like to do business and without paying taxes. And that's true because guys, I've seen and I've heard that Chinese who are now settled in Jamaica are doing their businesses and they are not paying for taxes. Can you imagine that? When Jamaican they go to other foreign land like Chinese, they are being meant to pay taxes, but the Prime Minister of Jamaican has allowed the Chinese to come and do business, and when these Chinese they are doing their business, they make the local business to go down, because the local cannot compete with people who are not paying taxes. And the other thing is that these Chinese people, when they open business there in Jamaica, like they sell their things at lower prices. So the other people, the local Jamaican people who are doing their businesses, their business goes down, and that will cost them a lot because people will start buying things from these foreigners, since the foreigners are selling their goods and their things on a cheaper price. And you have also seen how these Chinese are buying land. Nowadays Chinese have brought a lot of land, like they are just buying land in Jamaica. They have opened like big industries, and they are really competitive, like they are giving the other local Jamaicans businessmen hard work. So the Jamaicans are very angry. Like even when you visit Jamaica, you can see the big industry, like they are shut down because the Jamaicans are very sad, since they are seeing like these Chinese have come, they are doing their business for like 5 years, they are not paying taxes, they are really enjoying their lives, but Jamaicans are paying taxes, and the cost of living has become high because these Chinese have like destroyed like the business in Jamaica. Guys, you can imagine if a Jamaican goes to Chinese and tries to open a business, they'll have to pay taxes. Chinese does not allow any foreigner to come to Jamaica, to come to their land and stay without paying taxes. So for this leader, this leader, when they are being elected, like they tell people good agendas, like they will do this, they will do that, but when they get that seat, they change, they forget what they told the people, and they start benefiting themselves. Like here where I live, like people have, before, during the campaign, people produce different agendas, and the agendas are they are just lying to the people so that they can get the seat. But when they get the seat, guys, these people turned, like these people, they forget what they promised the people, and they start benefiting from themselves. But what I like about Mia Montly, she has come out loud and she has exposed them, and she's telling them that to do the right thing, to serve the people equally, like to serve the people, to do what brought them, to do what people voted for them to do. But nowadays we have the Gen Zs. I know the Gen Zs will always speak out. Gen Z will always speak the truth, like they always speak what is inside them. So guys, for those leaders, I could wish that you do the right thing, like you serve people good. And for the Prime Minister of Jamaica, I will at least help those Jamaica. Some businesses are being closed because of this Chinese, since the Chinese are buying land, they are opening big businesses, and they are selling their things at lower prices. So the other local people from Jamaica have really become jobless and have really closed their business. So we hope that everything will be right, the people will be served, for those corrupt leaders that they start serving people. So guys, I've been your host Nelson. If it's your first time coming across my video, guys, feel free to show me some love by subscribing. For more videos, guys, stay tuned for more videos. I'll be posting more videos, and I want to appreciate you for those who subscribed to my channel, and for the returning one, God bless you and one love, guys. Nimekula mdomo.